Let's welcome in a friend of the briefing, Georgia Congressman Rich McCormick. He's a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Welcome back, sir.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me on.
We're going to get to your clash with Caitlin Collins of CNN in a moment. But first, what do you make of CNN and MSNBC and all these folks now trying to say they were misled about Joe's cognitive decline after they were the ones lying to us again and again and again?
Media is dead. It's been dead for a long time. Not you, of course. But there's so many people that just really have an angle. They don't worry about the facts. They don't want to have a real debate. They just want to editorialize everything. They don't report. They wanted to spin this. They're obviously Democrats, socialists, communists. They all want to lean towards a social agenda that's not good for America. They believe in something that's not us, that doesn't define us. And this is what happens. You end up with misleading information.
Absolutely. And a more important question to me is who was in charge last year? And you've asked this before. And this new book, Original Sin, is now claiming that White House aides told them that even cabinet secretaries were shielded from meeting with Biden. And one cabinet secretary who spoke to the authors, quote, was shocked by how the president was acting last year. He seemed disoriented and out of it, his mouth agape. His mouth agape, and he was the commander-in-chief. Why isn't this a bigger investigation going on right now, sir? Beyond just like finger-pointing about the media lying to us, the president and his people were lying their own cabinet. I can't believe nobody invoked the 25th Amendment.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable if you think about it. And as a matter of fact, we could see it. I mean, you don't have to be a doctor to watch his cognitive decline. He was a different man than just a couple of years before. Even when he was running for president, he was not the same guy he was 5 years before that. Everybody could see he was having a hard time walking. Even his expression looked totally confused. He was misinterpreting emotions, even from friendly people. He didn't understand what was going on. The fact that he was our commander-in-chief is really scary. I mean, that's the biggest thing I was worried about. What if we had to make a really hard decision about somebody who was threatening the United States? He was the guy that was going to have to make the call, and that was very, very scary for us.
Absolutely. I mentioned a moment ago you dealt with the fake news. I was listening on my SiriusXM satellite radio when this happened with Caitlin Collins.
This major gift that the United States is going to be accepting from Qatar, a free luxury jet. Is that something that you personally are comfortable with? Do you think it's ethical for the president to accept a $400 million plane from the Qataris? I don't think the peace process has to do with whether or not the Qataris are gifting the United States a plane.
Exactly. Thank you for agreeing with me on that. That's exactly my point. Yeah, it's exactly my point. Yeah, thank you.
I'm saying it's not impeding it. My question is separate as whether or not you are okay with it.
I got it.
Congressman Rich McCormick.
I think I answered that question pretty clearly, though.
Is that a concern that you have?
How many times are you going to ask me the same question? I think I've answered that question thoroughly now.
I love that you turned it around and said this is not impeding the president actually trying to get a ceasefire deal and also bringing in hundreds of billions of dollars in investment in American companies like Boeing. And she just kept asking the same question over and over. So I want you to react to what happened there. But more importantly, what's the big picture in your eyes about the president on the world stage right now?
Well, if you think about it, the big things he's doing, this president has been exceptional in foreign policy. It was the one thing that I was worried as a guy who's been in the military for 20 years, spent a lot of time in the Middle East, a lot of time in Africa and north of basically all the Central Asia area. I've seen a lot of foreign governments. I was worried that he didn't have the experience. He's been exceptional. What he did with the Abraham Accords, what he's done even with tariffs, is phenomenal. I mean, this guy really should have gotten the Nobel Peace Prize based on what he did with the Abraham Accords, bringing people into economic unity, humanizing them, getting them to work together. Man, nobody else has been able to do that. She was focused on the plane. And I don't mind talking about it, but once I've answered your question, can we talk about something that's going to have a long-term, consequential impact on the American economy and world peace? He should have just stuck on one question. It was just frustrating and not good media.
Asked and answered, as they say. So in the final 30 seconds we have, is part of this that the media simply doesn't want to admit what you just mentioned? They said we were going to go into a recession because of the tariffs. Instead, we're getting big trade deals. The stock markets come roaring back. And oh, by the way, groceries are down to their lowest level since 2021, which is right around the time Donald Trump was leaving office.
Look, some bad things can happen, but I'm telling you, if you could predict that Trump was going to have zero tariffs basically from 100 different countries, and that he could do something with it to that magnitude, everybody would be like, wow, this is the best thing that's ever happened in American trade policy in my lifetime. And he pulled it off. I mean, he played chicken and won. And even China came to the table now. It's phenomenal.
It really is. Congressman Rich McCormick, always great to have you. Look forward to having you soon, sir.
My pleasure. Semper Fi.